The Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience Divisional Round. Spread picks, game previews, curse teasers. We got it all on this show, folks, including a giveaway for $20 DK. All you need to do is smash the like button of the episode, leave your Draftkings handle in the comment section, and let me know which of the underdogs this week you think has the best chance to win outright. Then boom, you're in a draw for 20 DK bucks. We'll try to announce the show or the winners on next week's show. I mean, I'll definitely announce them on the golf show like I did this week, but in case you don't like the golf, and I don't know what's wrong with you, that you don't like seeing Geoff and I talk about golf, but the winners from last week were Jody's, that's Jody with an S, and RX Beer 79 were the two winners of the 20 DK dollars. So if you have an extra 20 DK bucks in your DK account, that's where it came from. You didn't just randomly win a tournament that you weren't entered in. So Geoff Fienberg is here in studio. What's up?
What is going on?
Who do you like as the underdog, outright underdog? Because I feel like everyone's going to say the Colts, and I don't think it's going to be the Colts.
Well, you know who I like.
I do know who you like. That's true.
Although I think the Colts could be live also. I was ready to go. They put the lines out. They're pretty quick in the playoffs because they know people are
immediately
hungry, and they kind of know. Even, I mean, maybe you should introduce the cast, but even when it was a beatdown early in the Indy game, there was a books were posting like 4.5s. They were showing Indy Chiefs lines. So they waste no minute the second.
The initial opening line in that game was 3.
Oh.
So that was the first thing it was posted at. Then it obviously changed throughout the course of the week. So we'll get to that. We got to introduce the third member of the team, the Coin. Everyone likes the Coin. The Coin is a huge fan favorite. It's probably the most popular person on the show after you.
Well, I was hoping that the records maybe could like roll over.
They don't roll over, no. In the cheat sheet, you can see what the regular season records were. You can find the cheat sheet always up on Facebook.com.
You're happy to not
/ the PME. Now listen, I lost. I had a shitty year. Shit happens.
It's documented. When you're not hiding from it.
When you're bad at picking games, sometimes you have a bad season. You just don't luck into a winning record like I had in the past. But that's the third member of the team. The fourth member of the team coming off a week where he guaranteed that his money line parlay was going to win. And what did it do? It lost the first 2 games and then it lost the last game. So again, it was a big loss for the Cursed Money teaser because it is a Tim Undergust.
Tim Undergust.
Not my name.
Great week, though.
What an awful week. Just awful.
Well, if we recap the picks from last week, you will see that I finished 2-2. I had a good Saturday, terrible Sunday, and it's funny because it swapped. I built the Draftkings lineup for the weekend. All my guys that I ended up picking on Saturday were awful, and all the guys I picked on Sunday were great. But in terms of actual picks, I hit both of them on Saturday and lost both of them on Sunday, so it was strange. You had the best week, Geoff. You were 3-1. Cust in the Coin. Brothers, 1-3 to start the playoffs. So you're not going to go 11-0 like you had previously claimed, Tim.
What did we pick the Hawks game at?
1.
What was that line?
It was 1.
1.5, whatever.
It was
we
1
were
on the show.
unaffected.
On the Wednesday when we recorded, it was at 1. Colts was at 1, and that was at 1.
No, fair enough.
Oh, you thought you squeaked that one out, did you?
Well, no, but it wouldn't have been one I earned. I was on the wrong side of it, and I was completely on the wrong side of the Texans game. I didn't realize they just weren't going to show up.
No, they didn't. And they're not going to. The problem is they probably would want to fire Bill O'Brien, but it's too late to do that now because all the good coaches have been scooped up.
I mean, they should just fire him and do what the Cubs did for like 10 years and have a college of coaches. So they just have, because they wouldn't be any worse than Bill O'Brien.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been so amazing, the coaches stuff. It almost needs its own little portion.
We'll hit that on Friday. The three of us will talk about the coaching situations. I have Seeley on the show tomorrow to break down the DraftKings slate. We're going to record another bit with him on the coaches. We'll mesh it together, and boom, we got a Friday show, Geoff. Thinking ahead here, because I don't know when I'm going to be gone.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's just, there have been all these vacancies, all these random, it's weird.
If you're watching this on a Wednesday, I released a golf show today, a quick 10-minute update. Updated my betting card for the week if you want to get it on that. Plus, Tim's one and done pick. You have to watch that show where I reveal who it is. I mean, you can just follow him on Twitter to find out.
Was he on it?
Tim was not on the show, no. Let's get into the games, though. Indy at KC, -5.5 is the line. Like I had mentioned, it opened at -3. The game total, 57 in this game. Do you think, Jeffrey, that the Colts are going to be the team that everyone piles onto because they looked so great last week, and we haven't seen Kansas City really play a great game in a while.
I can't speak for everybody, but I certainly like the Indianapolis Colts here, Pat. I think they match up quite well against the Chiefs, who, as you kind of alluded to, I want to say in their last 6 games are 3-3.
They look pretty good.
Their only strength.
They look good beating the Raiders in Week 17. I forgot about that.
Their greatest strength on defense is their pass rush. Other than that, they rank in the worst yards per play. They're with the teams like Arizona, the Jets, the Giants, all those teams drafting in the top 5 or 6. The Chiefs are alongside of them in a lot of defensive categories. Their bread and butter is that pass rush. Maybe they'll get a couple sacks, but they won't be able to stop Andrew Luck from dissecting them. I believe this is going to be a high-scoring, close game. Mahomes is going to have to go find that 42-50 burger because that's what it's going to take.
I actually think he goes and finds the 42-50 burger on the Colts. I think the Colts defense is fast, which could give them problems. But we saw DeAndre Hopkins get shut down against them twice this season. But I don't think that there's an answer for shutting down Tyreek Hill. He's just too fast. No matter how much team defense speed that you have, it's tough to cover him. And I'm just not sold that it's going to be that, unless you establish Marlon Mack early in this game and you can continuously run the ball, which maybe you can, but if the Chiefs jump out like they've been known to do, I don't know if the Colts can play comeback. This game, Tim, actually reminds me of when the Colts went into the Meadowlands and tried to get into a boat race with the Jets and just couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the game. Do you know how many playoff games Andrew Luck has won outdoors?
0?
1. Won in his entire career. That was a fluky game against Denver where everything went against the Broncos and they immediately fired John Fox. This is a dome team going outdoors who, is not coming off a bye week. And the only way you can beat the Kansas City Chiefs is just get into the 30s. And they're going to have to get into the 30s and prevent the Chiefs from scoring more. I do not see it. I mean, the Chiefs are better at quarterback. The Chiefs are better at receiver. The Chiefs are better at tight end. The Chiefs they're loaded. They have the best player in the NFL right now. You're giving less than a touchdown, coming off a bye, playing a road team who basically, just slept-walked for 3 quarters on Saturday after they got up in the first quarter. The Colts defense was impressive. The offense after the first quarter was certainly not. So I don't know. I think this line is shorter than it should be. I think there's value on Kansas City. I think the Chiefs should be a 7-point favorite. I'm taking them. I love them. They should crush Indianapolis. I think they win by 10 to 14 at least.
I see this exactly the same way that Tim does. I think people are a bit too fired up for the Colts right now. I think they're good. And obviously that offensive line is going to keep Andrew Luck upright. But if you force them into a situation where they're just passing the entire time and you get them out of their rhythm, I just don't see what happens. I don't see them stopping the Chiefs. I don't see it.
I don't see them not being able to answer Chiefs scores to keep this game close enough.
The big difference between Mahomes and Luck this year is Luck is still throwing bad picks. And if Kansas City's defense can do one thing, they can turn you over.
Kansas City, Mahomes is not... No one in 2018 should be a fan of a Tampa 2 defense. It can be very generic. Maybe the second most generic thing you can roll out there outside of what Kansas City rolls defensively, which is man-on-man, safeties drop, linebackers over the middle. They will be dissected by Andrew Luck. Back to the Colts, though. On defense, I don't think Mahomes has seen a Tampa 2. I'm not saying he should struggle versus a Tampa 2, but if you're going to play a Tampa 2, you best have the speed the Indianapolis Colts have. And you speak about their speed. Yeah, but there's probably not players to contain Tyreek Hill if he wants to run the all-go, and that's part of their bread and butter. But no team gets sideline to sideline like these Colts. They cover that ground. And I think this is a really bad matchup, strengths versus weaknesses for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I don't think that sideline to sideline speed is going to be that big of a deal playing the Chiefs because they're just going to go vertical and go down the field on you.
Okay, fine.
I mean, ultimately, this is because Geoff wants Dignity Health Sports Park to host.
No, I don't care about that. Any place, any squad. You know what that means?
I mean, of course I know what that means. First, I just wanted to say the ridiculous name of the Charger Stadium out loud now. And Yeah, I think you do want that game.
I think this is going to be a close. No, I think the Chiefs win, but I think this is going to be an incredibly close game. I wish it was at 6 because I think 6 is such a big number. Ask me why. Overtime. That's the type of game I think we're going to get. I think this is going to be this is going to be a blast. And everyone would want to pick on the Chargers for certain like demons and same old. Well, the Chiefs seem to have a free pass. No one wants to talk about their demons until they don't win the football game, I guess.
Well, their
demons are heavy and great, but they had the best player in football under center.
Yes, and that's why I'm not bringing up my rookie first time, or not even the first time QB stat, because I don't even put this guy in the same league as the 3 home favorites that got bounced last week. So I don't even care to mention it, even though I just did.
You did, and I think that's the one thing that caused me a little bit of pause here, because I went against it last week. I thought it was just like
all 3 cases. No, you're on Indy.
No, I was on Indy, and that was fine. But I was like, Lamar's going to be fine. The Ravens defense
in
will come
defensive
through.
Betting on the Ravens, you kind of say you don't bet on Lamar. Like you're betting on.
I actually didn't bet the game. So it wasn't really that big of a deal for me. But I thought that they would end up covering in that game. And then the late game, I just thought Trubisky would be better. And he wasn't.
If it's close, I sure hope Andy Reid doesn't make a terrible mistake.
That is...
we updated coaches' rankings on this show?
No, we'll do that as a part of the other one. But the big thing last week, like that we pointed to, and it worked out in one case and didn't work out in the other case, and I ended up siding with Dallas because I thought that was a good stylistic matchup for them at home against the Seattle Seahawks. But you had Frank Reich and Andrew Luck against Deshaun Watson and Bill O'Brien, who we all kind of agree was the worst coach left in the playoffs. And he wasn't good. The entire team wasn't good. They were not ready to play. But I know Andy Reid can fuck this up in the end, but he's on par with Frank Reich.
Oh, he's the best coach other than Belichick left in the draw. There's no doubt about that.
Well,
people go on and on about offensive innovators. This guy's the most innovative head coach in the National Football League. I mean, he's running the most exciting offense with, we can get into this later on when I take shots at Cliff Kingsbury. I think that Mahomes is so special that this is not the end of the line for him. They don't get bounced here. They're the better team, and they're at home coming off a rest. The Colts had to play 4 quarters, and they're playing outdoors. Don't think too hard about this, folks. Take the better team and lay the under a touchdown.
Yeah, like I said, I agree with Tim in this, and I don't like agreeing with Tim all that much, but this is one where I'm in. Plus, the Chiefs don't have the weight on their shoulders like they did last year when they were proclaimed free money playing the Titans, and then Mariota threw a touchdown to himself.
Oh, they've got the weight.
Not as much.
Were they his Super Bowl pick? Is it all just waiting to happen? Collapse?
No, I thought the Rams were his actual Super Bowl pick.
Rams versus Chiefs was my Super Bowl pick. And that's still live, and I still like
buddy,
it.
I'm standing right here too, bud. You don't see me. You don't see me Barry Horowitzing myself.
That is precisely what you are doing now.
You want to talk about the most cursed team of the week?
No, well,
Tim blowing his nose here.
I would like to talk about how I think the American Football Conference storylines are all like fantastic.
The 2 games that we have left?
I think this is next week is usually, I agree with you that it's probably the best day of football of the year.
What is he doing? What are you doing, Tim?
He didn't
Absolutely
mute.
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. Now you sound really far away from the computer. Sure.
No, I haven't moved.
Lies.
Hasn't moved.
He's in the other room taking a piss or something.
Hasn't moved.
Now he's on mute, so go ahead, Geoff.
Next Sunday's always a great Sunday. It'll be 2 great games. But I think the 4 games this week are also quite amazing. And I think any way you want to dice up the AFC, you got Brady, the greatest ever. People are probably bored of it. If you've liked football long enough, I don't see how you couldn't want to see Phillip do well. Mahomes MVP going to a Super Bowl's first year. Andrew Luck, that story in and of itself. So I think they're all great stories. And you break it down to the NFC also. I'm alone on Indy.
You're alone on Indy.
For how popular they're supposed to be, here I stand, happily.
Dallas at the Rams. Rams are 7-point favorites coming out the bye. Looks like Gurley is going to play.
I don't think he's back yet.
He's going to play.
No, I mean Tim.
No, maybe not. 49.5 is the over-under. in this matchup. This one's tricky because Dallas is way better at home than they are on the road, and they're way better inside than they are outdoors. So I'm inclined to actually take the Rams here, but it's so close. And if Dallas's run D shows up again, like it has for most of the past 2 months, and we've seen it, Detroit sort of set the blueprint for this earlier in the season. I know they lost to the Rams in that matchup. They really took Gurley out of that game, and they really made them it threw them out of sync on offense. I think that Cooper Kupp being out has really impacted this offense in a big way. That 7's a lot of points. And I know the Rams can fire it up at a moment's notice and they're dropping 45. We haven't seen that in a while. They've really looked like a different team over the past 6 weeks.
Didn't they put up 48 against San Francisco?
That's San Francisco. What's San Francisco picking in the draft? Second?
Something like that. But listen, that team still, they hung 32 on them. Like the Niners still had talent because the greatest QB ever, Mullins, played for them, right?
Tim is
so great.
Tim was even commenting yesterday on our text thread that he's still triggered that he doesn't have a blue check mark on Twitter and Nick Mullins does.
Well, it just bothers me that, there's more imitation accounts of me than of Nick Mullins. Like, if anyone should have it, should be me.
This seemed like an easy game.
Really? Okay, then you take the lead on this one.
I don't know if I like Dallas. I think, again, it's another matchup versus matchup. I saw this stat that no quarterbacks who played as bad as Geoff did in the last 4 starts win their first playoff game. I think the Rams could win a close one here, but I like Dallas. I think their run defense, their pass rush, their ability to control the ball, and we'll find out. The world will see on Sunday night, Pat, who the most popular team in Los Angeles is. And I assure you it ain't the Rams, and we all know it ain't the Chargers. It is the Dallas Cowboys who are going to fill that place. Probably over 80% will be Cowboy fans. And it's actually quite funny, the turn on the secondary market that happened the moment Parkey missed that kick. Because Cowboy Nation or all those Cowboy fans, in the Bayou area, were all buying up, getting ready to go see them play in New Orleans. And now tickets for that game have cratered. Well, the price to see the Ram Cowboy game, they've almost done a complete opposite movement. So that place is going to be loaded with Cowboy fans. I think it's another stylistic situation. And this could be potentially a loss for the Rams, but I'll just take the points.
Coin likes the Rams to cover the 7 in this game. Like I said, Tim, I'm a bit torn just because I don't like what I've seen from the Rams over the past 6 weeks. And I do just worry, though, that the Cowboys are awesome at home and they're just not great outdoors.
Yeah, I don't trust Dallas. I'm sorry, I don't. This is a game, if it gets to be 10-0 for the Rams, you can turn your TV off.
That's how I feel, too. I don't like that. This is like the first week all season I've agreed with Tim on stuff.
But Dallas has no capacity to play from behind. Dak has to play a perfect game, which he did for all intents and purposes. He did on Saturday night. Zeke has got to be able to get 135 to 145 all-purpose yards, which he managed to do on Saturday night. Cooper's got to have 100 yards. He did that. All the stars aligned for the Cowboys, and they won by 2 points. That wasn't an impressive win to me. I think Seattle was the better team and didn't get it done. Whereas I just look at the Rams team. They're coming off a bye. They have more talent at just about every position. They've got pass rushers who can get into Dak's face and compel him to have to move around and force him into an error, which he didn't make last week, but he is prone to making. I think Dak throws them out of the game. I think they lose the game on that behalf. I think the better quarterback resides in with the Rams. I like what the Rams have got. I don't think they cover. I think it's a 35-13 type of game.
I think you are totally misunderstood on how sure the Rams have more blue chip players, but I wouldn't doubt for a second that Cowboy roster is probably way deeper, and that's not even saying much because the Rams entire team is one level.
Getting them all healthy coming off the bye is huge, though. It just where would you rate? What's the best unit on the field in this game?
Zeke Elliott?
No, Rams offense. We'll say is the best unit.
No, Cowboys defense.
You think Cowboys defense is better than Rams offense?
Yeah,
I would pick Rams offense first.
I think I would go Rams offense first too. But then it comes in, what's the gap between the Cowboys offense and the Rams defense? I think the Dallas offense is a lot better than The Rams defense is bad.
And they don't have any. They've got their stars, and then they're thin. They're paper thin.
But the problem is, we saw the defense doesn't matter. Who's out of the playoffs? The Ravens and the Bears. See ya. Take a hike.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's actually a very quick and uninteresting point. Like,
well,
they're not.
You only say that because you were just like, "Oh, defense matters the most when it comes to the playoffs,"
Sure.
and now the two best defenses around.
One of them is the defending
they're out,
champion and some inexperience. And then, as far as the Chargers were concerned, there's not much doubt who the better football team is. So,
you mean of the teams that are left, you have 1, 2, 3 in the top 10 that are remaining. So, like the idea that defense is not in here is risible. That's not true. You look at Dallas's defense; they're 10th overall. Okay, that's a good defense. The Rams sport the third best offense if we're looking at DVOA. I think the Rams offense should have little to no trouble being able to score on the Cowboys. The Eagles a few weeks ago in the loss seemed to have no trouble finding a way to score on the Cowboys. Just the Cowboys got it done late. I don't know. I'm not impressed with this Dallas team. I don't think it can be trusted. I think the second that you do trust them, they will crush your spirits. I do not envision them going to the NFC Championship game, which they would be doing if they win this game. So I don't think they're going to cover.
But you're also just blindly in my opinion, through the Saturday games, and it's fair, but I'm just stating a fact. He's just double box checking his Super Bowl picks to move on.
Oh, of course. And the big thing too is Tim is now back on trusting DVOA when it suits his argument. Again, when it doesn't suit his argument, he really wants to know more about the calculations when it doesn't fit his narrative.
Just curious, what's the Eagles' record since he quit on them and said they completely quit?
Oh, I believe they're undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that too late for the cut to make the custies?
Yeah, I think it's a bit too late.
Okay.
So while I said that, Foles was named starter after I said that. I don't know whether I would have said that had I known Foles was going to start.
Yeah. Let's.
I'm just
let's have some revisionist history. Sure.
No. Listen, I think they're going to lose by like 40 points this week, so I'm not too worried.
His cat's out of the bag because we know what he feels about the morning game on Sunday. This guy, okay, well,
morning game on Sunday is the most important game in a very, very long time.
Much like your Saturday, Tim, I hope you have a horrible Saturday picks, but you come out roaring Sunday morning like last week, buddy.
Well, that's sweet of you to say.
I'm going to take the Cowboys and the points here. I think it's a closer game. I'm not sure the Rams just show up all of a sudden and look like the Rams that we saw from the first month of the season. It's been a while.
7's a lot.
7 is a big number, especially if Dallas can... If you can get Zeke going, and then you can start running with Dak as well, which we saw more of last week, and you can keep the chains moving that way, keep the clock moving that way, but just pound the ball up the middle and have success, and you can really run on the Rams pretty easily, that it really mitigates the one thing that they do well on defense, which is Aaron Donald getting to the passer. I
think Brandon Cooks has a huge day. I think he takes the top off this Cowboys team.
Okay. So
I do.
So
I
don't play Brandon Cooks. In
Tavon
DFS.
Austin's going to score in this game also.
Revenge touchdown for Tavon?
Austin played well on Saturday night. I saw that, and I wanted to tweet out. I'm the last true believer in Tavon Austin.
Uh-oh. So much for Tavon Austin.
So the game that we talked about a little bit before, and you just kind of alluded to it, I said like how Kansas City was so cursed last season. The most cursed team in this playoffs right now, and now that Tim is back on the bandwagon, the 4-point favorites at home, New England Patriots taking on your Los Angeles Chargers, Geoff. So I'm going to let Tim go first.
I agree
on this. So Tim, please explain to us why the Chargers are the lock of the century, according to you.
No, explain to us why if football gods, as I'm paraphrasing, put it, could have constructed the perfect team to go and beat the Patriots, it is the Chargers, as you put it.
They're better at every position, probably outside of head coach. I would take the Chargers at every other position. They have the perfect pass rush that against what is anything but stellar Patriot offensive line that should be able, in the classical sense, to harass Brady and force him to have to move around. That is, historically, that's how you get to them. They have, look at the defense. I mean, I don't have to tell you the defensive backs they have. Derwin James, in and of himself, is one of the best 3 or 4 DBs in football. He's going to be a ball hawk all over the place with old man Brady, who's losing his accuracy, throwing it around. The linebacking core is great. What they did with Bosa on Sunday was brilliant, moving him inside a lot and playing like that. The Patriots can't stop that. I mean, Ingram, who was the MVP of the game on Sunday, to be sure, should be able to wreak havoc in the backfield. Then you turn it around the other way. Phillip is having a fantastic season. Allen is is a fantastic receiver that I don't think the Patriots can cover. Both tight ends are sort of older tight ends that used to be elite, but are now simply just riding off into the sunset. Well, I trust Gates more to make a catch in a big spot than I do Gronk. That's for sure. I mean, Melvin Gordon is better than anything.
Okay, stop.
I really believe.
Please stop. Jeff, I'm going to throw this one to you. I know Gronk has had a bad season. Gates better than Gronk right now. Please go on this one.
No, probably not.
No, the answer is no.
No, well, here's the problem. Gates has made some clutch catches, but, I watch the games and then I watch them again. It takes him so long to get to these spots, running like 4-yard routes.
Now, fortunately, Hunter Henry may actually be back for this game.
I think he's going to be.
You have a case to be made.
I think he's going to be.
What I think is bulletproof is that the Patriots really don't have any advantages. That's the thing. I mean, where are the Patriots better? Outside of the head coach will give Belichick the nod on that. Although I think Lynn called just about a perfect game on Sunday. And really, really impressed me, I have to say. I thought
it was quite Belichickian of Lynn.
It was. I thought he out-thought Harbaugh, and they won the game before, what is it, Sun Tzu's every battle is won or lost before the first shot is fired sort of thing. Like, Lynn had that game won before they took the field.
Well, see, this is the problem, though. This is the problem.
Well, you knew what Baltimore was going to do. You don't really know what the Patriots are going to do.
They don't have much that they can do. They're going to have to be a run-heavy team.
Listen to this curse. Listen to it. Listen to it.
To be a run-heavy team if they
Tim, you might as well call it free money.
I think it is insulting that the Chargers are 4-point dogs here. It should be Patriots by 2.
I agree.
The Patriots should be favored by 2 because the Chargers are the better football team. Yeah, you are paying a tax, as you always are, to bet the Patriots in the playoffs. I mean, you have to reach back in time and say, Phillip Rivers is 0-2 against the Patriots in the playoffs. That's 2006 and 2007. That has nothing to do with anything. That is not an argument upon which you can hook a single thing. The Chargers are the better football team. If we face the matter squarely, you cannot argue in good conscience that the Patriots are a better football team than the Chargers. Maybe the weather, if it's really inclement, maybe that could bother the Chargers, I guess. The Chargers haven't lost a single game outside of Los Angeles County all season. Foxborough, last time I looked, wasn't in the state of California. I don't see it. I mean, Gordon is going to play. Gordon is better than any of the Patriots can roll out on the running side, to be sure. I mean, I don't know, man. I do not, when I close my eyes, I can't see how, outside of the referees, ganging up against the Chargers and calling a game against them where they called against the Bears, I just don't see a loss coming from this Chargers team. They have the weight of all football fans outside of New England on their shoulders. They have my full support, and they have the full support of every. Geoff says it is true that there were just no Chargers fans out there. Really, we are all Chargers fans this weekend. Don't let us down.
I will say I've noticed that there is an exorbitant amount of people that are like ready for this and do want to see the Chargers like slay this dragon. I don't know whether it has something to do with,
it has nothing to do with the actual Chargers. It has everything to do with the Patriots.
My point being is, I was going to say, like, it seemed like everybody was frothing at the mouth to see like Alabama get whooped. I was in the States recently, and all they really talked about were 2 things: the college football playoffs and the collapse of the Warriors, basketball. So it seems like, who will probably still be back in the finals. I don't even follow that crap, but it does feel like everyone is just sort of anointing the Chargers as the team that is going to, as I joked on Twitter, cut the head off of the 17-year Disney movie that they have.
I don't really think that the Patriots are a Disney movie. People like Disney. People don't like the Patriots.
In many ways, it's in many ways it's a freaking Disney movie. In many ways, that's a whole entire separate conversation.
It's the first time
here's the thing, Tim is not wrong in that, and we said it last week, that anyone who with a mind knew on Saturday night, Sunday morning that the Chargers and Ravens were playing not only to advance, but there was a nice prize. To like football people, playing the Patriots was deemed like a reward because they're ripe for the picking. 53 man for 53 men. There's nothing they've done in 2018 that they can compare with my roster. Hold on. But he makes these these literary references to like Sun Tzu and these battles. That's the problem, dude. Because right now we're recording and Belichick's snickering into his coffee because he's seeing something. Just like I snickered at those 3 points last week that they wanted to give me. Let me see him twice. I worry for Lamar's future because we put it on tape. It ends quickly when it's on tape. And we put it out there.
You're also saying that Lamar can't get better.
No, I thought he was put out there too early to begin with. He obviously rose. He brought the team to the playoffs. He got the coach an extension. Everyone wins. That being said, back to the point, they know that they see something on tape. And the problem, yes, the Chargers are so very versatile. We can run the ball a lot and control the clock. I think we can get back to making the big plays that were our bread and butter all year. I think they'll be available to us against the Patriots defense. But I have no idea what bullets they want to throw because they're always changing their stripes. They can go run heavy. They can go pass heavy. They can, they could do all these little short things. There's so many ways that we will not know what guns they're bringing to the fight until the fight started. You have no idea. They're great. They're chameleon like that. It'll be like a death by 1,000 cuts. That being said, we just got to go play our game, man for man. Because where in 2018, who's good? You're into the math, the Pro Football Focus part of it.
Mm-hmm.
What Patriot ranks anywhere near the best at their position in 2018? Because every position might have a Charger near it, except middle linebacker.
So
Gilmore?
Yeah, Gilmore's been pretty good.
Maybe, yeah.
So the coin is also with you two.
This is the exact same spread. And by spread, I mean a buffet spread, not point spread. That last week, you all by yourself, and the three of us back in the Bolts.
Well, I was big on. I thought that the Ravens defense would cause enough problems to Phillip Rivers, and they shut them down in the red zone.
They did.
Baltimore just couldn't score.
But
that was the biggest issue. Here's the thing with this week. I don't disagree with either one of you, player for player, and the overall team. All three facets of the game.
Well, you're giving me special teams for somebody?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Get out of town!
Badgley, yeah, he said
Badgley's automatic.
Automatic, Geoff. Automatic. Badgley.
I mean, I thought of you, Geoff, when just like we talked about last week. First quarter, 53-yard field goal on 4th and 3. The guy hit it true down the pipe. And I was like,
woo!
That's it. When you saw that, you probably didn't need to watch the rest of the game, because if that goes through, you're not losing. That's the sign from the football gods. The Patriots are going to game plan, I'm sure, something brilliant, but they just don't have the tools at their disposal to implement it and to make it stick. The Chargers, I need this. I need this very badly. I need them to get rid of them. You need it.
I don't want to let you down, man. I don't want to let you down, Tim. One thing I am looking forward to, Pat, and I will say this, a lot of people are use the Chargers' offensive performance against them as an indictment. Early in that game when they got down there, I really wish they had scored the touchdown. But once they lost yards on the 3rd down, you kind of had to get on the board. Every step after that, especially once it's 6-0, you could tell the Chargers reined it in offensively. How valuable from going to 6-10, once they realized what was on the other side in QB1. How invaluable going from 6-9 was. And at the end of the half, we're in field goal range, just protect the field goal. And, the end of the game got kind of silly, but it was one of the most dominating performances of the year, and the Patriots watched it. And finally,
the Patriots have to play a tough team in the divisional round.
And
after having played Tim Tebow and backups on the Texans in multiple games, and the Titans last year. Brock Osweiler. And you list the amount of teams that they have played in the divisional round, they're all pushovers by and large. Finally, a real challenge. Thank heavens. Knock them out.
Patriots win this game by 13 points.
Oh, get out of town, Patrick.
They're and I listen. Like I said,
they have 5 losses to playoff teams. The teams that didn't make the playoffs.
That's great, Tim. This is this team. They have the bye week. They've had the week to scheme. They're getting a little bit healthier, and everyone's counting them out. Give your fucking head a shakes, people. Are you fucking serious? The Chargers. The Chargers go in, and you want to talk about Pro Football Focus and all the advanced numbers. You know what? They loved the Chargers last year, too. They didn't make the fucking playoffs. On paper, it's always going to point to the Chargers. And what are you going to do now? The entire public is betting on the Chargers?
Are they?
Yes, they are. All of the money, over 80% of the money is coming in on the Chargers.
Like last week.
Sure. But now you got the Patriots. You don't have Lamar Jackson.
What
the Patriots are covering this game.
What I love about
and you're all going to be disappointed. You're not going to understand how it happened.
He might be more disappointed than me, the way he's talking about it.
Wait, but this is what he does. And think about how strong of a curse. He said there's no way that they could lose. Every time
the refs gang up on them, which could happen. You don't leave the game in the hands of the refs.
What I love about this game...
So the only way, according to Tim, the Patriots can win is if the refs cheat for them. That's what Tim is saying here.
I watched Philip play there on a broken torn ACL and almost beat them. And that was a much better Patriots.
Okay, so if we're not going to count the 0-2 record that Philip Rivers has, it's 0-7 lifetime. Now we're going to go back to that same game and point that, well, they should have won that game. That's very meaningful right now.
I'd like to clarify, because something really bothered me was that we've actually did beat them once, because I knew we have.
Against Matt Castle?
Yeah.
It's against Brady. He's 0-7.
This is what you're going to watch for, and it's going to happen.
All of the Chargers baggage shows up this week. And if it doesn't, hey, listen, I'm pumped to see the Patriots lose. That's fantastic. But if the world is going against the Patriots, take the Patriots. And they've been really good at home. They might get waxed next week in Kansas City. But this week, I like them.
What I can't wait for, and you'll watch it on Sunday, Brady hates getting hit.
Yeah.
He hates it with a passion. He hates it so much that he'll just upchuck the ball to avoid getting hit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and the first time, he'll get right in the referee's grill and start complaining and whining and asking.
You stop.
And let's not pretend like Philip Rivers isn't doing the exact same thing.
No, but Philip is not doing to whine. But why are they allowed to hit me? Or get into the middle
yes. Philip Rivers, noted not whiner. Yes, that's something that I've seen on film.
Brady gets in the middle of is allowed for some reason during live play to get in the middle of a referee scrum and try to argue about calls when he should be told the next time it's 15 yards on you if you come near us. He has no right to be in that. That's the little stuff that frustrates me. I'm going on mute because I won't be able to stop myself.
Listen to how triggered he is already. No, Tim, you take yourself off mute. How triggered are you going to be when the Patriots get a greasy call that you don't agree with, which is probably the right call, and then you're just going to lose your mind, and then they win the game because of it? That's what happens here. The world conspires against him. Outcomes of sporting events conspire against him. So there's no way the Chargers can win.
I got all that Ravens money. It even had me make a couple extra golf bets this week, but I'm going on all the Chargers monies. The money line is luscious.
I like the money line. If you're going to bet the Chargers, I do like the money line.
And like I've told you, any place, any squad, we will go anywhere. We will go anywhere. I told you we'd go to the moon if they asked us. And a little snow in New England, if that's the closest thing we can get to playing on the moon, then we'll take it. We'll take it.
Worry about Gordon's knee?
He's a running back. Let's bring it to Northwestern. I didn't give a crap. I don't care. I do not care. I want Philip Rivers to spread them out. I want to line up my weapons on your weapons, your zero pass rush, and Philip, and
I know. I'm the same way.
I want to spread them out, Pat. Keenan,
I don't know what could
Michael,
go wrong.
Tyrell.
I don't know what could go wrong.
Hunter.
Listen to yourselves.
No, I'm different.
You're like the same person this week.
No, he's on some 17-year bias. I'm on a different no, I see the path to losing. He makes it like it's impossible. I know the path. I'll be nervous and scared as shit. But what I want from this team is I want everybody out there. Like, we can spread them out. We can thin them out, and we will attack the weakest link. And you know who's going over the top this week? He's my least favorite goddamn player on the team.
Oh, T-Ben?
Yeah, you first touched it.
Remember the last time that the Chargers played in New
England?
And Travis Benjamin ran back into the end zone? We were in the building. Don't overlook the Patriots' ability to actually score points on special teams here and create short fields.
We have different guys. He doesn't touch that anymore. No, Desmond King, all-pro.
Okay. Do you trust the special teams? When it comes down to the kick.
I trust the Chargers special teams now. I do.
It's going to get blocked in return. Trust. Oh, Tim, what are they per DVOA, though? You're so big on DVOA.
They are not great.
Please tell me. Please tell me.
They're not great on
What
DVOA.
are they? What is their rank in DVOA? If you want to point to how defense is still good, because 3 of the top 10 are still left in the playoffs. Thanks.
17th. According to DVOA, it's 17th.
I assure you,
Cordero Patterson return touchdown in this game.
I assure you, he's more confident than I am.
He does sound like.
I'm just telling you
The only thing that he hasn't done is called them free money yet. He knows that if he does do that and they lose, he's going to take too much heat. He's a fucking coward.
Maybe
these
he
days.
likes me.
Yeah, but he's already cursed them. The Chargers
Didn't he curse them like we almost lost the game last week?
Yeah, because he was talking about how they're going to win this week before last week's game was over. Then all of a sudden they almost lost.
There is no curse. Let it, quote unquote, do its worst. I'm not worried.
I like that.
I don't know. Brady looks like he's 41. Gronk runs like he's carrying a piano. They don't have a pass rush. They got one capable corner. Spread them out.
I think that this bye week does more for them than it does any other team.
I agree. And we're going, I mean, this is our third east to west again. But again, the trip from Baltimore to Los Angeles back to New England is a lot shorter than the trip to the moon. And I would play there.
Okay. I'm taking New England, the rest of you, including the coin, are taking the Chargers. Next game. Philly at New Orleans. Tim has already said that New Orleans is going to win by 40 points, was it, Tim? They're 8-point favorites, so this is pretty good for you. 50.5 is the over-under.
Yeah, they may have been hyperbolic. I think they win it comfortably. I mean, and that's not based on the fact they blew them out earlier this year, because that doesn't matter. I remember a couple of years ago, the Patriots blew the Jets out 38-3. The Jets beat them in the playoffs. Like, that doesn't really matter. What matters is the Eagles have trouble moving the ball to score a bunch of points. And I don't see Philadelphia having the type of defense that can slow the Saints down to a crawl the way Dallas did, or even the way kind of Tampa did for a good half of the last time they played, like in week 16 or 15. So I look at the matchup. I think it's indoors where the Saints are very, very, very difficult to beat. The Bears are very fortunate to be, the Eagles are very fortunate to be where they are. I don't think they quite have the talent or the depth to overcome the onslaught that is coming. There's no greater home field advantage in these playoffs than what the New Orleans Saints have. Man, I am interested to the case for how the Eagles cover or win, because I can't think it through.
I like the Saints to win this game by a touchdown.
Oh,
Hold on.
You told me to write down New Orleans for you.
I do. That being said, I think with that, there's just a way that they get it.
They get the cover. The coin likes the cover. I'm taking Philly
I'm the
here.
worst.
I think Philly wins.
Against Nick Foles, they win this game, they're winning the Super Bowl. May as well stop playing.
So here's the fun part about it.
2 NFC East teams are left.
That would actually be kind of fun. Philly and Dallas.
When it'll
turn out like that year where Arizona hosted the home NFC Championship game as, were they the 4 or the 5 seed? They were the 4 seed against Philly, who was the 5 seed against McNabb. The Arizona Cardinals went to the Super Bowl against the Steelers.
No, they couldn't have been 4 or 5.
Hey, there could be a 5-6.
Oh, yeah, 5-6.
But there
it was 4-6.
But we could have 5-6 in the AFC next week.
We could have.
I hope not. I mean, you know what? If that's what it is, I'll take it, because that means it's the Chargers have won. So I guess I would take it.
He's willing to give up his Super Bowl pick so the Patriots don't win. Should be a good indicator the Patriots are going to win.
If I was
very fascinating.
If I wasn't invested, I'd be with you.
I believe in magic.
If the city
I believe in curses. I believe in magic. I believe in Nick Foles. And I don't know what it is with this team. And everyone is lining up to bet New Orleans. Over 90% of the money's on them now.
I'm repulsed by this and humored. Repulsed and humored
because they have
by
magic
Eagles
team. They have Nick Foles. It's a different team now.
Okay, I mean, that is true. Jeffrey certainly is maximized in a way that he wasn't with Wentz. But, like, how many points are the Saints going to score in this game?
3.
The Saints haven't covered since Thanksgiving at home versus Atlanta, where Tim didn't even think they played well and should have lost.
Which is still ludicrous because they covered.
They
covered 13. They covered 13 and a half points in that game.
Atlanta turned the ball over.
Because Atlanta sucked, as it turned out.
I know that, but
that's what they did.
So it's been a long time since the Saints have really played well, and I don't know why. It's really foolish of me to just blindly be expecting them to play well. But I am.
I'm going off gut here. There's something with Philly. They're riding this momentum.
It's magic.
And we saw New Orleans blow it last year in the playoffs. They're the team that everyone is sort of just penciled, like, because people are throwing up, hey, Indy could definitely beat KC. Dallas, tough matchup. Hey, the Chargers are going to knock off the Patriots. This is the one favorite everyone
Like last week.
Everyone has agreed is going to move on to the next round. And shit happens in the NFL, man. I'll take Philly.
Listen, it's not
We were consensus Bears.
We were consensus Bears. Even the coin
Yeah.
was on the Bears, and the coin is rarely fooled by this stuff.
And when we're consensus, it's always bad.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Coin is rarely fooled by this stuff.
Well, Geoff always points out that the coin has the distinct advantage of not watching the games.
Yeah, it is. And Tim, what were you saying about Los Angeles something?
I said it would be wild if next Sunday Los Angeles is the host of 2 championship games back to back.
That would be hilarious. I'll tell you, it's the ticket broker's worst nightmare would be an LA Super Bowl in Atlanta.
It would be, but for next week, having both games in Los Angeles would be the highest selling tickets ever. Because the fans of the other teams will have to buy them from the Chargers and Rams season ticket holders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the secondary market is going to be off the hook next week.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow.
They would be the ones
What
fighting
would they
for
do? Would they even move one of the games back and now? Because usually you get one West Coast game and
I don't know, because they're so far apart geographically, like Carson from the Coliseum. I don't know if they would.
But I just mean you're gonna make a game start at 12:30.
Oh yeah.
No, but they start at weird times. They start at 3:30 and 7 o'clock Eastern, don't they?
Yeah, so that would be 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock Pacific, or 12 and
12:30 is my point.
1 o'clock is fine to start a game.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that.
So Tim on our text thread right after the game, because he's very convinced that the Eagles are frauds and the Saints are really good. He gave out money line 10-1 on Philly.
They're a touchdown underdog.
Yeah, I think they're like plus 275. Their Super Bowl odds right now are 14-1, and Tim gave them 10-1 to win this game. There needs to be like a Make-A-Wish Foundation sort of thing where Tim is allowed to run a sports book for one night and set the odds. It would either go extremely well or extremely poorly.
Well, he thinks they're winning by 40, so he's not afraid till kickoff.
Yeah, I exaggerated. When I said that, I mean, that was hyperbolic.
Sure, did you or did you not give out 10-1 on this game?
Sure, I got overexcited and thought that it should be that. Sure, whatever. Because I really can't. I mean,
hold on. What's the real number?
Plus 285.
Oh.
I think so. Paul, bring it up for a second. I don't know what it is today.
I'm looking at it now. That is what it's plus 290.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah, plus 290. Giving out 10-1.
But I mean, in the end, it won't matter.
Bookmaking.
In the end, it will not matter
because
I'm going to get it.
This wasn't he only taking bets he offered, and he obviously offers so 10-1, eh?
They almost got him at 15-1.
I wouldn't take it. I said
he wouldn't take it. That was too steep. he really thought about that way. Nah, that's too steep. I'll give you 10.
Yeah, it was exorbitant. But listen, just sometimes like when books have to make bad odds to take a stand because they want to be on a particular side. Like I don't mind having to stand their knee in the New Orleans.
But they're winning on 7 other ways. They're getting their money back. You just take a bath or you win not enough to make it worth it.
Exactly. So Philly does have the whole thing here where Tim is dialed into the Saints, thinks they're going to blow them out, give them 10-1 odds on the other end. And Philly still might be riding the magic last year of all their players refusing to shake hands with Tim. It's what won them the Super Bowl. Why can't it win them this time around?
No, it's not true. There is one Eagle that was willing to shake my hand.
Donnie Jones?
Now is the punter for the Chargers.
That's not good news. This is where it comes back. Because Gostkowski was awful in the Super Bowl after claiming that there was no curse and easily shaking hands with Tim. Donnie Jones, watch out. He's going to get a punt blocked. He's going to miss the snap.
He already had a punt blocked.
You're starting to feel. I feel like you're starting to feel worse about this.
No, but what is Vegas doing? Like this spread should give. Like they're like baiting the world to bet the Chargers.
Yeah, that's why everyone's betting
because the spread should be like 2 points,
and it's not moving. And all the money's coming in on the Chargers.
No, it was 4.5. It went to 4.
All right, so we might get 3.5. Is what you're saying?
I mean, I'm already in.
My guess is this is this divisional weekend. The public money on Saturday.
You don't know anything about how this works.
It's not true. The line.
You have no idea.
Public money. The big public money in Las Vegas will come in on the Patriots on Saturday and before kickoff Sunday. I think this line will end up moving.
Tim, can you give me live fresh weather report?
25 degrees at the moment.
What does that mean?
That's like minus 3, -4.
What is it today?
Oh, yeah,
here?
it's 32 is 0. So yeah, it's like -4.
It's -1 here today.
I was cold.
It's because it was very windy. When I left my house, when it was snowing this morning and there was no wind, it actually wasn't all that cold out. Anyway,
but New England weather is unpredictable, so it could very well be chilly or snowy.
I would just say in general, weather pretty unpredictable. It's not exclusive to New England.
No, but some places are a little bit more predictable than others.
And I think that wind makes more of a factor in this game than actual cold. Like if it's rainy and cold, then maybe the points are the play all of a sudden.
And I just have an unrelated question for Tim.
Okay.
Because he probably sat through the entire Golden Globes on the weekend.
I did too.
But
I did.
The difference is you actually watched these off cable shows.
Yeah.
He's just watching for 2 hours about things he has no clue about. And then he's criticizes that nobody watches these things. Like the shows. Just because he's never seen them because he only watches like 4 channels.
Yeah. Now he would watch these other shows. He doesn't know how. Just like it was like entering the one and done. It had to be made very easy for him in order to enter.
Yes, thank goodness.
Or else he wouldn't be in and people wouldn't be able to fade his picks.
The Golden Globes were terrible. I don't really have much to say about it. They were terrible.
He's still triggered from them. He's going to be even more triggered.
Why, because Christian Bale won?
Oh, no.
Christian Bale's speech was legit. It was the most fun of the evening.
Christian Bale is fine. Like, if he's going to win, he's going to win. Whatever. I'm actually not that upset.
What are you doing over there?
But like, what I'm really annoyed by was like the opening monologue was so bad. And
the monologue was not good. But you're throwing 2 people who got the job like 4 days ago in there.
That's it though. But I mean, if that's what we're to expect for like comedy at future award shows, like that's not good. That is a bad omen. I mean, they still don't have a host for the Academy Awards, for heaven's sake. And maybe they won't even have one. Like, I don't know. I did not like what I saw. I didn't think it was very good. I mean, Carol Burnett was hilarious, but I mean, her show used to be funny, so I'm not surprised that she was good. But outside of that, like, I don't know, I just didn't do it. It wasn't an enjoyable evening by and large. I was so upset about the Bears game. That was bothering me the whole evening. I felt like I spent 4 hours watching a football game where the wrong team won.
What are you doing over there? And don't say nothing.
I'm not doing anything. It's perfectly still. I'm not doing anything.
No one believes you.
I'm just pontificating about my Sunday evening.
Because the last time that we had this much static, it turned out that you were lying about the entire thing.
I wasn't, and I'm not moving. I don't understand.
Yeah, you're not moving now. Now it's fine.
It wasn't then.
Okay. Picks. Any super locks from anyone?
I don't feel as strong. Well, this week as I did about the Colts last week. I am, me giving the Chargers is sort of, like an empty bucket.
It feels like Tim is like strong on all 4 of these games. Are they all your super lock, Tim?
No, but I have a parlay for the people.
All right.
Now,
okay. Let's 1 second. Let's get to this. Let's recap last week where 3 of your 4 picks lost on your parlay, and you're now 3-16 for the year. So let's hear it.
Yeah, well, I'm giving out one here that we've got almost 18-1 odds on. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Chiefs -5.5, Rams -7, Chargers money line, Saints -8. Connect the 4 together.
Okay, say that again. Chiefs -5.5.
Rams -7.
Okay.
Chargers money line, Saints -8.
It's like +175, 180.
170, yeah. Odds on that is about plus 1750.
Taking the points on all of them, Geoff, except for one where the money line needs to come through. Like I would be shitting my pants if I were you on this.
I like my chances.
Just like you.
I feel really good about this week. Like this is
last week you said you felt good about going 11-0 in the playoffs. How'd that work out?
Whatever.
And Cuss Tracker pointed out you've dropped to 1-7 against the spread the last 2 years in the wild card round.
Yeah, I seem to have no handle on the wild card round, but I seem to feel pretty good about this divisional round. I was so close last year to having a perfect divisional round if I hadn't gotten screwed in the last game by that Minneapolis Miracle. So,
Geoff, can you recall what happened and why potentially that happened?
Yeah. Tim sliding into my DMs wanting credit for pick. Where are you?
Yeah, is there a dog in your room or something? Are you doing cocaine off?
No, I'm not doing anything.
It's impossible. He just blew.
I'm not doing anything. I don't know what's going on.
Are you using a hairdryer on your perm?
No.
Tim slid into my DMs looking for credit for picking the game, the exact score.
Before the game ended?
Yeah, before the game ended.
And then what happened, Tim?
They had a miracle on 4th down with like 6 seconds left to win the game outright.
Can I give my teaser? Because I won one.
You won your teaser last week.
Nice.
Let's hear it.
I'll take the Colts. So I guess that's what, 12 to 12 and a half.
Are you taking a 5-point or 7-point teaser?
Yeah.
Okay.
Colts, Chargers, Saints.
Oh, that Saint one's going to kill you when they don't win.
Hmm.
So Indy plus 11, Indy plus 12 and a
12
half.
and a half.
Chargers plus 11, Indy minus 1, or
Yeah.
New Orleans minus 1. I actually don't hate that. That seems far more reasonable than Tim's, where he's digging up. That's all he's doing.
Yeah.
He's just losing more and more money every week.
And Tim, I get the strange suspicion you're going to have a horrible playoff season, hit the Super Bowl, and then pretend like you were some playoff savant.
Well, if my preseason Super Bowl pick is what the Super Bowl is, I'm going to feel pretty good about it, and I'm going to get a lot of credit, and I'm going to expect a lot of credit.
Here's the thing. If the Rams win the Super Bowl, what were they to win the Super Bowl? 7-1? 6-1?
I'm not sure. We'd have to look
Jeff, do you
that up.
remember?
They were a favorite, yeah.
They were, but they were 6, 7, or 8-1. Even if you hit the Rams to win the Super Bowl, you're still down from your free money fucking parlays every week.
Yeah, I mean, that's why people who have a problem should seek help.
Have you yet?
Lesson.
Have you done that yet? Have you done it?
No, I'm having too much fun.
Yeah, he's having too much fun instead of calling. Well, if odds and lines are subject to change, see website for actual odds. And if you or anyone you know have a gambling problem and want help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But instead of calling 1-800-GAMBLER, Tim makes these terrible bets, and then the time that he could be spending on the phone, he goes to the convenience store or the bodega, just starts buying scratch tickets and doubling down even more.
I haven't bought a scratch ticket in a while.
Like Christmas, like Boxing Day.
Yeah, it was like around Christmas.
Yeah, it was like yesterday, but don't worry about that.
So it's like 10 days, 2 weeks ago.
Something like that.
Probably didn't win on it.
No, but I was one letter away. She needed an A, and I would have won big. But anyway, let's not rehearse that.
I would like to thank Geoff Fienberg for being here today. You can follow him on Twitter at GFienberg17. The coin is always a fun one. You can always follow the coin. I might have to start an Instagram for the coin just to see what the coin gets up to when he's not on the show. He only appears once a week. So we'll find an Instagram for the coin. And see, I bet you he has a more active lifestyle than Tim does. But we'll see. Maybe his Instagram will pop up. I'll tell you where you can follow it. Also, you can follow on Twitter. His name is Tim Undergust.
Tim Undergust.
That's not my name. Go Bolts. Bolt up. Don't let
At
me
least
down.
it'll be easier to swallow. Like it'll know why.
You'll know why.
Yeah.
I guess there is peace of mind in that. He's going to be so triggered.
But what?
I won't be as happy as you when your team wins, but I might be more satisfied than you will be.
Here's the thing. Why are you putting all this on the Chargers when your Super Bowl pick Kansas City is going to play them at home next week per your results based?
If the Chargers let me down, then I will put all these and more on the Chiefs next week. But the Chargers can get rid of them now. So like we could be so lucky as to throw these frauds out of the playoffs, and they shouldn't be here.
Because, you know, losing in the second round of the 2018 NFL playoffs will really diminish their
no, but I mean, for
like in his mind, though, it will take some shine away from all they've accomplished in Tim's
I
head.
like the idea of this probably being Tom Brady's final playoff game, and it be a loss at home to the Chargers. I mean, that would be a nice capsule.
How confident are you that they don't win the division next year?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the most confident thing in the world, but like I would say that better than not that they're not going to make the playoffs next year. We'll see though.
All right.
And maybe they have a great draft. We can't preclude that. But if this is the team they're bringing back next year, yeah, I don't think so.
That'll do it on the Pat Mayo Experience Spread Picks Preview. You can find the cheat sheet up on my Facebook page, facebook.com/thepme, same place where you can find the betting cheat sheet for golf every single week. So go follow that, subscribe to it. I could always use the extra likes. It goes a long way in building the brand. Smash the like button, leave your DraftKings handle in the comment section if you want to get into a draw for $20 DK. Along with that, tell me which of the underdogs you think has the best chance to win outright this week. It sounds like both of them, like the Chargers. I'm going to pick the Eagles in that one because I believe in Nick Foles' magic. And I just really don't want to see the Saints end up going to the Super Bowl. I know everyone loves the Saints, but that's where we are. Subscribe to the audio podcast wherever you can download podcasts, and that'll do it. I'm Pat Mayo. Thank you for watching. Enjoy NFL Divisional Round Weekend. I'll see you next time.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!